The summer of 1683. Europe stood on the edge of disaster. The Ottoman Empire, which had been pushing westward for centuries, prepared to strike again with decisive force. Their goal was Vienna, the capital of the Habsburg Monarchy. If the city fell, the road to Prague, Munich, perhaps even Rome would be wide open. And this time it seemed nothing could stop them. Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa marched with a colossal army. Chroniclers write of 150,000 soldiers. Some even claimed 200,000. These were the janissaries, the Sultan's elite infantry, the swift Tatar cavalry, Turkish sipahis, and contingents from Serbia and Hungary. Their camp stretched for miles, filled with hundreds of cannons, vast supplies, and even luxurious pavilions for the Ottoman elite. Kara Mustafa was certain Vienna would fall quickly, and his name would shine forever. Inside Vienna, the situation was utterly different. The city was unprepared. Its garrison counted only a few thousand soldiers. The rest were citizens who had taken up arms. Their commander was Count Ernst Rudiger von Starhemberg. A man of iron, he declared, "I would rather die on the ruins of this city than open its gates." And he meant every word. In July 1683, the Ottomans encircled Vienna. Hell began. Cannonballs rained daily upon the city. Houses collapsed. Fires raged through entire districts. At night, people did not sleep. They repaired walls, extinguished flames, filled craters from explosions. The Turks dug tunnels beneath the bastions, packing them with gunpowder. When the blasts tore open the walls, defenders rushed in and rebuilt barricades with their bare hands. Hunger ruled the city. Every crumb of bread was worth gold. Soldiers shared their last rations with children. Water had to be fetched under fire. Disease spread. In hospitals, with medicine scarce, women tore their dresses into bandages. People were exhausted, yet their spirit endured. Everyone awaited the allies who had promised to come. Starhemberg acted with lightning speed. When a wall collapsed, he threw his tiny reserves into the breach. When the enemy charged, he personally appeared on the bastions, raising morale. His face was scarred by shrapnel, his head wrapped in bandages, yet he never left the front. His words echoed through the city. "We stand for Europe." By August, the situation was desperate. The Ottomans had breached several points in the walls. Kara Mustafa prepared for the final assault, even issuing orders for the division of spoils. So certain was he of victory. Inside Vienna, defenders readied themselves for the last fight. But far to the north, the relief army was marching. King John III Sobieski of Poland led the coalition forces. He assumed command over Austrians, Bavarians, Saxons, about 70,000 soldiers in all. They were far fewer than the Ottomans, but every man knew, if Vienna fell, their own lands would follow. September 12th, morning. From the hills around Vienna, dust rose on the horizon. The relief army deployed. Inside the city, people prayed. They heard the thunder of cannons and knew this was the decisive day. The Ottomans hurled their troops into battle, desperate to crush the Allies before they reached the walls. In the forests and hills, brutal fighting raged. German and Austrian troops advanced steadily. Kara Mustafa grew nervous. He feared the Poles' greatest weapon, their cavalry. By afternoon, Sobieski gave the command that would echo through history. "Now!" From the hills thundered a wave. 20,000 horsemen, the largest cavalry charge in European history. At the front rode the Polish winged hussars, their armor gleaming, long lances leveled, great wings arching from their backs. Witnesses swore the rushing sound of their charge was like a storm wind. The Ottoman lines shattered. The first strike broke their ranks. The hussars crashed upon them like a tidal wave. Panic spread. The army began to flee. By evening, the siege was broken. Vienna stood free. Inside the city, tears of joy flowed. Citizens poured into the streets, kneeling in thanks. Soldiers embraced, forgetting wounds and hunger. Starhemberg climbed the bastion and spoke only a few words.
"We have stood!"
Those words became the symbol of resistance. The Allies entered the abandoned Ottoman camp. There they found treasures, silks, luxuries, and curious sacks of black beans. Someone brewed them into a drink. Coffee had arrived in Vienna. The irony of fate was that, after the victory, the Viennese celebrated by devouring pastries shaped like crescents, the very symbol of the Ottomans who had failed to break the city. Bakers had designed them deliberately so that every bite was a small, mocking act of revenge. Exhausted by hunger and fear, people rejoiced as they chewed these triumphant rolls, as if they were swallowing the enemy's defeat itself. And thus, the croissant was born. For Europe, this was not just a victory, it was a turning point. The Ottoman advance westward had been broken. Their decline began. For Austria and Poland, it was everlasting glory. Sobieski became the savior of Europe, his name praised in churches. The winged hussars rode into legend as the horsemen who changed history in a single day. As for Kara Mustafa, he paid with his life. The Sultan, enraged by disgrace, ordered him strangled with a silk cord. The fate of a man who dreamed of conquering Europe. And today, when we remember Vienna 1683, we recall not just strategies and armies. We remember starving children sharing crumbs with soldiers, women binding wounds with their dresses, a commander bandaged but unyielding, and horsemen appearing on the horizon when all seemed lost. It is a story of despair, courage, and hope. The story of how Europe was saved.